Welcome back to another webinar. So I am Momina and I'll be your host for today along with Mohammed Abbas. So let me introduce myself first. I'm pursuing data science from Comsec University, Islamabad, and I've been a part of Empeer Den community for around 2 months now, and it's been a really great experience for me. I really enjoy being involved in our sessions and other community activities. So let me introduce everybody to DenR. So every week we come together for DenR, but it's not a session that we attend and just forget about it. It's a session where we get to discover new ideas, hear different perspectives, and also we can stay updated with what's happening in tech. And most importantly, we can connect with people around us. So for today, we have a pretty interesting.
Momina, your mic is being mute.
Sorry, Abbas, it was a network issue. So for today, we have a pretty interesting live lineup for you. We'll start by getting to know our new participants. Then we'll jump onto some of the latest tech news, followed by our founder spotlight, and then we'll wrap things up with question answer session. So I request you all to stay involved, and hopefully you will leave today's session with at least one new idea or something worth thinking about. So before we move towards today's agenda, I can see we have some new participants with us. So if anybody wants to introduce himself or herself, please unmute your mic and introduce yourself.
Yes, so basically DenR is an open community session in which we love to know about the community members. You can talk about what you are doing, and then we get on the last week news and tech trends that were happening in the last week. And after that, we have in every session we have one growing founder who is basically working on his or her product. So we love to know about their product. Today we will have Nija Asif with us. So in the second half of our session, for 20 to 30 minutes, Nija will basically describe us about what she is building. And for now, we would love to have your short introduction, Nija. You can unmute it. Let us know about yourself.
Sure, just a minute, please.
Okay. Till then, if anyone else wants to give a... Okay, perfect. Nija, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How are you all doing? मेरी आवाज clear है? If you could please just confirm me.
Yes, आपकी आवाज clear.
Okay, so my name is Nija Asif, and I'm a mechatronics engineer by profession. And currently, I'm working at Motive. I'm bootstrapping my startup, and with that, I'm building my startup Sync at NSTP Nest. So talking about my professional experience a little, I am the NERC winner 2024, which is the biggest robotics competition in Pakistan, organized by Nest every year. And apart from that, I have been given the Best Technical Award by American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And I have won the Zindagi Prize regional competition as well. I have 3 research publications in my undergrad, 1 journal, 3 conference. And now my whole focus is fixing the broken systems in our society, specifically when it comes to the universities and the employer side. So that's what would be our focus in today's discussion as well. If you all have any question, please feel free to ask. And I would love to have this session interactive, please. That's my request.
Perfect, Nija. If anyone have a short question, we can do it now. Else, at the end of the session, it will be all
Perfect.
yours. So, yeah. Anyone else wants to introduce themselves shortly? Else, we will jump on our news session of this week.
Okay, so if anybody wants to introduce himself or herself, no? So we should start the next segment then. Let's move towards the second segment that is, first segment that is tech news. There's always something happening in the tech world, so this is a good chance to see what's new and what's actually worth talking about. So for today's tech updates, I would like to invite Arham to share with us. Please, Arham.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes,
Okay, that's good. Is my screen visible or not?
Yes, your screen is also visible.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so let's start. My name is Ramamir, and I'm one of the founders of this initiative that we have been working on from last 2.5 years. That is Empeer Den, and the vision behind it, as Aves and Mamna has told you guys. So I will quickly jump to my section, which is the tech news of the week. And as we call about tech news, so we mostly say all the things that are happening in the AI space. This is what we do. I have seen that people are saying regarding the Den or in this tech news, we are covering the AI tech news of the week. So that's not correct, I would say. We are covering a lot of things that might be regarding augmented reality, autonomous vehicles, and then maybe about blockchain. Because what I've seen is like in the last few months, I would say, especially in 2026, everyone has forgot that there's blockchain existing, which was so hyped back in 2025. Everyone was talking about it. Should I become a Solidity developer? Should I become contract developer? Should I learn Solana or how does the Rust work? So everyone has forgot blockchain, I would say. So yes, in today's session regarding the news, we have some blockchain news that might pump up things for blockchain again or the development on the blockchain side. So let's jump into the first slide of ours, which is again Claude. So Claude Code, as usual, has introduces intersession messaging. So earlier, what people were doing, they were either having the requirements.md file or skills.md file. They have to share between the different sessions. Either we are talking about the UI, GUI based plot or the terminal based plot. So then when you are shifting those files or telling them that this session I was doing this and I have to continue from this thing. So now this Cloud Code itself has introduced intersession messaging. They have introduced the whole communication architecture from where, let's say, you're talking in from one session and in the other session you left at some point. So you can tell that session of yours that update my previous session or let him know or let the session knows that we have reached this point. Like one session might be regarding planning of things, and one session might be regarding the development of things. So this is what Cloud Code has introduced, and that might help a lot of developers that are working with Cloud Code, not just developers. Like Cloud in general is also used by I've seen by professionals who are in marketing, sales, and different side of things. So this is what they introduced. It is quite interesting, and one should try it out if you are working with Cloud Terminal. So moving forward, what we have is by the way, how many of you know about this person, Demis Hassabis? You can just thumbs up or do some reactions. No one. Okay. Super interesting. This is the CEO of DeepMind, which got launched in, I would say, 2010. Before there was AI or any discussion of AI, it was a lab which was focused on achieving the AGI. This is a term that is widely heard nowadays. If you listen to all those executives of Anthropic, OpenAI, Sam Altman, and all those people, so they are talking about AGI, artificial general intelligence. So this was a person who started working in 2010 for Google and created DeepMind, and they have achieved phenomenal things, phenomenal benchmarks. And this person himself is a physics gold medalist or something. And if I'm not wrong, he might have received also a Nobel Prize also. So anyways, the news as comes up is the Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis steps down to become chair, to which someone translated a meme that is on the left that Demis has become a chair himself. So no, he has become a chairperson of the DeepMind, and he has stepped down from his CEO position. And that, but what the news in it is that the main reason behind this move by Google was that Google has a lot of AI applications now. We might have seen that Google Gemini is integrated in Gmail, in Calendar, and all those things. But still, on the benchmark levels or on the revenue side of things, Google is still lacking. Anthropic and OpenAI are doing good in terms of revenue. Google is still lacking in those. Although Google already has almost 900 million active weekly users, but still, as they were lacking in revenue, so I thought that there might be some things on the infrastructure side or on the development side of things that are not pacing up with those companies like Anthropic and OpenAI. So this was a big move, and not just Demis has stepped down from his position. His partner, which was if I'm not wrong, Jeff Dean, that was working with Google for 27 years. Google has laid him off. So this is one of the layoff or the step downs that happened this last week. Okay, so the next news, this is quite interesting. And as we have seen, a lot of AI, agentic engineering happening, and a lot of processes, or I would say automations or operations getting optimized or automated by the development that we have been doing. But when we talk about the AI on the digital side of things, it is limited in a scope till now. Moving forward, when we have achieved that, we would be integrating those AI logics or those AI LLMs or integrations or data sets, whatever we have, with the hardware part of things. So as we can see, that Jensen Huang, who we all know is the CEO or the founder of NVIDIA, has launched this, what we can call a model for autonomous vehicles, and it has 34 billion parameters. And as they are saying, as I've read the article, you can read it by yourself also. I have added that in the sources. So this would definitely help the concept that we see in not a dystopian society, but a utopian society, that there would be flying vehicles that will bring people their food, people will be moving or commuting using flying vehicles and all those stuff. So there are still many bottlenecks or issues that are blocking those things. One is definitely the cost behind it, but other than that, it is about the optimization of all the algorithms. So the autonomous vehicles know when to stop, when to move, when to fly, and all those stuff. Because if someone wanted to know more about this after reading this article, he can look up into Tesla accidents. Like Tesla has this super pilot mode, autopilot mode, where the car drives himself. But when the car has to make two decisions, let's say two people are in front of the car, and car has to go on either one side or on the other side. So at that point, the intelligence itself gets stuck. So yes, this was the model that NVIDIA has dropped. NVIDIA is actively working on this. So if we move forward, this is the news regarding blockchain. If we talk about it, this is Cloudflare, which is currently occupying 20 to 25% of all the web, like all the websites that we are seeing. 50%, by the way, 50% of the websites that are live on the internet or on the web or on the www are on WordPress till now. Okay, so yes, services business will come definitely. But if we talk about Cloudflare, so it is covering almost 20 to 25% of the web. Like all the traffic is being going through Cloudflare platform. Cloudflare launching Cloudflare wallets for agentic commerce is a good thing, considering it would give some legitimacy or validity to the blockchain side of things, because blockchain has been a dark side area, gray side area that people are neglecting for some time. Like what's the use case behind it? How we can utilize it? Is it illegal? Is it legal? Because currencies and all those things are integrated or connected with blockchain. So this Cloudflare wallets, again, if I have to define or tell you in one line, it's like, let's say you have an agent and he has to do some payment on your behalf. So whenever an agent or let's say a bot goes to a website to do some payments, he cannot bypass the Google CAPTCHA thing. Okay. So what these introducing Cloudflare wallets or wallet infrastructure, what this will do is you can pay some API. Let's say someone has to purchase Hedge and monthly plan. So your agents using the Cloudflare wallets can do that payment. And definitely Cloudflare is building that infrastructure where you can limit all those things. Like you can define your budget, how much budget that wallet will be allowed or that agent will be allowed. what type of verification would be needed. But till now, it's a issue, it's a bottleneck that agents or agentic agents, if you give them a flow that you have to create social media script and social media posts and all those things, but when it gets stuck on the Canva subscription side of things, it gets stuck. And anyone who is interested to learn more about this topic can check out the X402 payment infrastructure. That is basically HTTP, HTTPS based payments infrastructure that Cloudflare will be using utilizing blockchain. And moving the next one is the major one, I would say, as Next.js has released its version 16.3, and there are very good, some good optimizations that I would say, because Next.js mostly is blamed when the traffic comes on the Next.js platform, it gets stuck or it consumes more and more RAM, especially when you're running it locally. It gets stuck or it's very slow and lazy. But if you deploy it on some Vercel or some server, Linux server, Ubuntu server, so it's very fast. So there is a 90% less memory consumption in depth side of things, which is a very good upgrade. But as it's a new version, we cannot trust it completely because it would have its own disadvantages. And the other good thing that I've seen in it was TypeScript 7 integration. And then they have added the AI agent support, where all those files like skills.md, read.md, not read.md, requirements.md, I guess would be by default added by the Vercel whenever you create a Next.js new project. Not Vercel, Next.js new project. Yes. So these were the tech news that happens. And I think some good news are coming up, especially in this week. Last week it was kind of boring. But if anyone has any question or wanted to add on any tech news or any point that I've missed out, so the mic or the stage is yours. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Aram, for briefing us about the last week tech news. And if anyone wants to add anything, you can unmute your mic and add on it. Else, we will be moving forward to our next session, and I would love to invite Nija to discuss or to tell us about her product. And also, I think there are a lot of new people join us, so you can reintroduce yourself too. Yeah, thank you. Nija, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. So for those who have just joined, my name is Nija Asif, and I'm a mechatronics engineer by profession. I think someone has to say something.
Sorry, did you ask something? My mic was.
Yeah, I'm saying we just saw something in chat. Maybe someone is going to say something. Josefa Amir is saying something.
Okay.
Okay, so you were just adding on that, Josefa. Okay. If you have anything else to say, you can unmute your mic and go ahead. Okay, so I was telling you that my name is Nija Asif. I'm a mechatronics engineer. I have graduated from NUST in 2025. Right now, I'm working at Motive, and with that, I'm bootstrapping my startup at NSTP. That's Sync. So before moving forward, I have a humble request if we can please keep this session interactive, because this is not simply a startup. This is going to help every single person here, and I can bet on that. So if you can keep it interactive, and because I would be knowing कि मेरे सामने किस तरह की audience and I'll be taking things accordingly. So yes, before we move forward, I would just like to ask how many of you are undergrad students? You can simply raise hands so that I can have some idea about it. Okay, and are rest of all doing jobs or are professionals? Please raise the hand if you agree. Oh, that's nice. So I guess we have both kind of audience available here. Interesting. So thank you so much, first of all, for being interactive and responding. So my next thing is for the undergrad students, you must be applying to the different internships, and if you are in the final year, you'll be applying to jobs as well. And for those who are already working, they have been through this process already. So we all knew the hustle and the chaos around this process, which is you are applying in different companies for internships and jobs. You are sending multiple emails a day, and we never hear back, right? But when we are applying, we never really think from the perspective of a recruiter. And when I decided to fix this problem, I talked to so many recruiters, and I was simply asking them कि आप देखते क्या है candidate में? And I was amazed to see कि people were telling me कि we don't really value technical skills that much as much it matters कि एक बंदे की interpersonal skills कैसी हैं. So that really gave me a push कि it means कि we are lacking on basic skills. That was point number 1. Point number 2 was, let me share my screen. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Just
Yeah.
So what do we usually do when we are applying anywhere? We simply send our CV. Let's say this is my CV right now. It's 3-pager, quite lengthy, right?
Yeah.
Now I have my LinkedIn here as well. Let me open that. This is the LinkedIn. I'm an engineer. I have GitHub as well. So now imagine from the perspective of a recruiter. Do you think it's easy to scan all these multiple tabs to make justice with one single candidate? When we asked recruiter this thing, they were like, sometimes when candidates send their CVs, their portfolio is missing, and we have to send multiple back and forth emails to get the complete information from a candidate, which really puts a lot of delay and resistance in the system. And right now, our goal is to remove this friction. So for that, we have designed conversational digital profiles, which means even if you are designing a portfolio website, still अगर एक recruiter आ रहा है तो उसे multiple tabs scroll down करके he has to make an effort to find the right answer. And that's what we were usually doing when we were previously using Google Chrome. जब तक ChatGPT नहीं आया था, हम जाते थे और different web pages पे अपनी desired information ढूंढते थे. But now we have that option available still. But what do we prefer? हम prefer करते हैं कि बस हम भी simply ChatGPT पे जाएं, we ask the question and we immediately get the answer, right? So why do we expect recruiters to still use the same way? And that is why we have designed the digital profiles. They take all the information that you have about yourself. It could be your LinkedIn, your GitHub, your professional experience, any unique story that you might have, your research papers, your projects that might even relevant with that particular job you're applying or not, and they simply funnel it into one single profile. Any recruiter can come and they can simply have a conversation to know about you. They can ask direct questions. Let's say I'm applying in some research position, so मुझे अपने robotics competitions के बारे में बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. But recruiter can come and they can directly ask about my research questions. And for that, let me share my screen again, and I would want कि आप सब इस चीज को खुद experiment करो. Okay, so can you all please try to simply scan this QR code? I would love to know the feedback from you as well here. So please go ahead and scan this QR code and raise your hand once you're done so that I can have some understanding if people are doing it.
Yeah. We can also paste it in the chat.
Oh, yes, I can send the link as well if you want me.
Also, you can share it to WhatsApp channel as well.
Sure, let me send the link. Just give me a second. Someone is saying send CV with referral. Yes, referrals they do work, but they don't work for everyone. और अगर किसी का कहीं tech में referral नहीं है, तो I don't think they deserve to be left out. Please try to open this link and let me know if it's working. So मैंने अपना एक brief सा introduction दिया, but let's say if you have any questions about any of my experience, you can simply go and ask here. आपको जाके मेरी CV scan करने की या लंबी portfolio websites देखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. The interesting part here is when recruiters post a job, immediately a bunch of candidates start applying, and so many of them are not even serious. They simply see a job description and they think चलो apply कर देते हैं, let's see शायद हो जाए. You know, that's a common approach. और उसकी वजह से कितना बड़ा bulk recruiters के पास आ जाता है कि उनके लिए इसे examine करना मुश्किल होता है. So they asked us if we could bring something कि जहाँ पे we only bring the quality candidates for them. So that's why we brought Sync here. If a person comes and they make their digital profile, ऐसा नहीं है कि you can randomly come and you can get a digital profile and be the part of this talent pool. We put several checks, which means once you qualify to be in any job, you have certain skills, you have that kind of skill set कि आप किसी job के लिए apply कर सकते हो. Only then you get a part to be this talent pool. And we are having MUs with multiple companies जो कि कह रही हैं कि if we can bring the right talent here, they would love to hire from this platform to reduce all the resistance and delay. Do you have any question, Arham?
No, sorry. I'll just.
Okay, no worries. So, you know, they're going to hire from us. The next part is that universities, they are not teaching students the right skills that are required for the jobs. So we are partnering with the universities as well. We are taking students in the form of cohorts, and we only train students on things which are actually important. Optimize your CV so much that you don't have to tell yourself what you do actually right. I'm not saying that you have to optimize your CV. कोई कुछ कह रहा है?
Yes, I was saying like you can complete your product like description, and then at the end we can take the questions. So
Sure,
I think that
sure.
Yeah.
So we are onboarding universities, and they're asking if we could train the students on the right skill set. We did a pilot program. We got a student from the University of Jamshoro, one of the universities in Jamshoro. He was an exceptional student. He was doing CS, but उसके पास वो right mentorship नहीं थी कि how can he get an internship. He was basically looking for an internship. हमने उसे onboard किया, and we told him certain things, you know, learn this thing from here and do this project, put it on your GitHub, and let us know once you are done. We gave him the tasks, he completed that, and after refining his CV, refining his portfolio, we finally helped him land a research internship in NAD University. So that was a success factor, and we realized that it could be done with all the students that are the part of our talent pool. So now if you have any questions about Sync, please go ahead.
So yeah, to summarize first, like to understand your product better, you basically build a solution in which if I am looking for a job, I can put my CV in, my LinkedIn, I can integrate my LinkedIn, my GitHub, my Behance, or every source, and then the recruiters can come and they can talk to AI to know about me, to get me hired or to invite me for the interview.
Okay, I think it's a good question. To say that talk to AI completely won't be relevant here, because AI, obviously AI is involved, but AI आपके answers नहीं दे रही. The answers that are completely controlled by the kind of content you provide. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि because when it comes to AI तो hallucination वाला मसला बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. इसमें वो नहीं है. Because it only trains on the kind of information that you are providing. So let's say कि बहुत सी जगहों पे there is this requirement कि आपको सिर्फ 1 page CV देनी होती है. But again, you have, अगर आपका एक अच्छा खासा portfolio है, तो you can simply put that all in. You can have a link, आप एक QR code अपनी CV पे लगाएं, and you know recruiters can simply scan and get the desired information.
Interesting. So yeah, we can go towards other people's question, and I have some more questions, but then
yeah, please go ahead.
Ask them better. So we have in the comment section. Alpamayo have some question there, and how to make a profile or LinkedIn you shared. Ali, what is your exact question? Can you like unmute your mic and ask? I'm not able to understand.
Yes, I'm just asking about how to make a profile in the link you have shared, for example, the product they are providing up. So how can we just sign up over there?
Okay.
To get
So, as I just mentioned, कि ऐसा नहीं है कि you will simply come and we'll say कि ठीक है अभी make your profile and be the part of this talent pool. ऐसा नहीं है. Because again, अगर हम ऐसा करते हैं तो we'll be like any other job board available, जिसमें एक bulk of candidates available हैं, but there are no quality metrics. So let me share one link with you. If you are interested, you can sign up here. You can provide your details. And then अगर आपके CV में, आपके resume में, or we feel कि आपकी overall profile में there is this need of any refinement, first we'll do that. And once we see कि okay, you are a good fit for the talent pool, कि companies आपको direct approach कर सकती हैं, they can shortlist, then you'll be the part of this talent pool. But you have to sign up on this waitlist right now.
Got it. Thanks.
No worries. किसी और का अगर कोई question है तो please feel free to ask.
If anyone has any questions, so पूछ सकते हैं. You can just unmute your mic and ask directly. Yeah, you can answer that. Yeah.
Okay, so referral kills opportunities. मैं ये नहीं कहूँगी कि ऐसा नहीं है. I'll not disagree with this, but I'll not agree 100% with this either, because you know दो situations हैं. इस तरह की बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. You can simply accept them और आप बैठ जाओ चुप करके क्या भी होता है. And the other way is to find the solutions, right? And I think it's important that you find the solutions. Let me give you an example. I am basically from Quetta, Balochistan, and I have completed my bachelor's from NAST Islamabad. Initially, when I started my university, I was in NAST Balochistan campus. And within a few months, I realized that it was not providing me the kind of quality I was looking for in my university. So I decided that I'll switch my university, switch my major. I was scrolling Kalam is the NAST का वो portal, और उसमें मैंने देखा कि NERC एक competition है जो कि NAST के इस्लामाबाद वाले campus में होता है, जिसमें कि they make robots. That was the first time I came to know about the word mechatronics. उससे पहले मुझे नहीं पता था. I contacted some teachers and I asked them how can I be the part of mechatronics instead of civil engineering.
Sorry to cut you, Nija. A quick reminder that we have one person from the USA too, who only understand English. So yeah, feel better like if you keep it in the English. Yeah.
All right, apologies for that. So I was telling that I was in NAST Balochistan campus and I wanted to be in the mechatronics when I heard about the words robots, because that was something which really fascinated me. So the first request was that I have to get 3.5 plus GPA. So in that semester, I worked so hard and I got 3.5 plus GPA. But still the system said that no, you cannot go. You know what? The reason they gave me, they said if we'll let all the top candidates go from this university, who will make the NAST Balochistan campus a better university? Which was a very mean thing to hear from the administration. But I didn't stop there. I collected the evidences that tell me, you know, I can switch the university. I called the EME campus and I asked them, how many students do you have in your 43 degree? I'm from 43. How many students do you have? And do you have any capacity for more students? They told me that 3 to 4 students have left this campus, so we have seats. I collected evidences. I made a strong application and I sent to the rector NAST. And rest is the history. I completed my degree from EME College NAST. I even won the NERC competition. That was my motivation in coming to the mechatronics. So, you know, you cannot simply sit and say कि नहीं हो सकता. You have to find your ways.
Yeah, definitely. 100% agree on this. And just to add on, when you're going for, especially in the private companies, referrals only works when the person is also capable of doing the job. If the person is not capable of doing the job, even if the referral let him sit in the interview or let him get inside the company, he cannot survive 2 to 3 months or 4 months after that. So referrals is not a bad thing. Referrals is just like a thing that will help you to get inside. But again, like the thing that if you are a talented person or if you are better than all of the other people, so companies are looking for such people and they will find you, hire you, get you in without a referral too.
Exactly, that's very true. Another thing I'll say, try to build your profile. As a student, it's good if you can be active on LinkedIn. You know what? I got my first internship when I was in 7th semester, and that too from a startup from USA. They reached out to me on LinkedIn in my DM, and they asked me that we have this opportunity. Would you be interested? That was huge for me as a student because I got a startup offer from USA. I did a remote internship for the 2 semesters.
Yeah, that's like your whole story is very, very inspiring and motivating for the people. Yeah.
The point is just don't sit.
Yeah.
Just don't sit and wait for the fate to unroll. No. Make your ways.
Exactly. So what's the actual revenue model of your business? Like what's your planning? I'm a little bit confused about exact product. You talked also about the talent pool. You talked about an AI layer above the hiring, which is really good. Um, so what's the actual product and how you are planning to go in the market with it? Like you talked about your GTM that you are partnering with the universities to give the students training on, but well, how you will generate the revenue out of it?
Okay, I think that's an interesting question. When it comes to the recruitment, it's a two-way industry. On one side you have students, on the other side you have recruiters, and it's the creating balance between the both sides. If you get supply from one side, you can fill the demand of the other, right? So I think this is a difficult niche because you have to deal with humans. Every human is different, and you have to meet the needs of human. My revenue model for this is we are charging universities at the first place because right now you must have heard that universities, their admission rates are dropping drastically. So they really need to market things that could bring more students in. And these kind of skills are very important when it comes to the marketing of universities. One of the university, I'll not name right now because we have some things going on with them. They even reached out to me to train their students, but as an employee. Going as a lecturer or something every day and train their students on these things, how to build the networks, how to get internships, how to do research, because I have experience in all these things. But we were not agreeing on that, and we are having some conversations. We believe in teaching students in cohorts, not exactly teaching. I want students to have that exposure. Right now, I'm at the middle. On one hand, I have industries. So I can talk to industries and I can bring the right students in with the right skill set. So coming back to the point, what's the revenue model? We are charging universities for training their students, initially for trainings, and it's per student based charge. Next, if we make successful placement, we get charged depending on the kind of placement we are making, it's according to the percentage of the role. And next, once we have good talent pool, we are charging companies when they hire candidates from our talent pool.
Interesting. I have a lot of questions leading to this, so but I will
We can have another session on this if you are lacking on time. But if we have time, please go ahead. I would love to answer.
There are some other questions too in the chat from Umama Khan. There is.
Someone is asking, can you please tell how to make that kind of network around those people who give such referrals?
No, this was like finished before. It was like Zefa Amir to whom we answered before too about the referrals and things. So there is a Umama Khan whose question is there.
Okay, this is a very interesting question, that how do we evaluate the profile? First of all, as I mentioned, the recruiters complain about, number one thing, that candidates send their information incomplete. From incomplete, I mean, maybe your CV says that you have done XYZ project, but there is no proof of that project. If you are mentioning something in your CV, let's say you are a technical student, if you are mentioning something in your CV, that project should be reflected in your GitHub repository, right? If I cannot find any proof of that project, I am not going to trust you. So the first thing is, if you are making any claim on your CV or anywhere that you have done this, we need proofs for that. If you have certain proofs, you are good to go. Apart from that, when I say to be the part of the talent pool, we have different companies and they have different needs. But there are some skills that must be there for it. It's your communication skills. How do you present yourself? Are you professional enough to be a part of any professional setting? We have some tests for that. We give that to candidates. But let me make it easy for you. It's not a very hard and fast thing that you think, it's kind of another exam. It's not like that. If there is anything missing in your profile, we would love to help you because we want you to be a refined candidate for the company rather than, simply applying with the incomplete details. If you have any other question, considering your own profile, you can reach out to me directly and I would love to help you with that. Research impact is your product evaluating the research paper thesis and giving insights on the accuracy and other details. Research impact, I could not understand what exactly are you asking because you related research impact with my product. Can you please elaborate a little? Maybe unmute your mic and...
Yeah, you can unmute your mic.
Yeah.
Actually, I opened the link, and when I scroll down, it like shows research impact biomedical AI. I guess this was related to your own CV, right? So
Yes.
what I was asking was that if you have like posted some accuracy and 0.97 AUC stats, right? So how is it being evaluated? Are you like evaluating the whole research thesis? Are you how are you actually doing it?
Are you talking about any particular research, or are you talking the overall thing?
No, particular research. I guess
Okay.
this is related to your CV, right?
Yes, exactly. So the thing is, if I have done a I don't know if you heard that me saying that earlier or not. I have 3 research publications, and 2 of them are in medtech. So
Nija, just to like rephrase the question. So basically the link that you shared for the chatbot, in which there is a card down there that talks about like the research paper that you did, biomedical AI. On that card, there's a basically 91% accuracy stat on it. So I think Mama is asking how that 91% accuracy,
okay,
91% the number is coming up here.
okay. So you can see it says biomedical AI, ECG based sleep apnea detection. Do you see that? It's one of my paper. So it's directly reflecting the stats of that paper.
Okay, so it's basically the machine learning model or the model that you
Yes,
created
exactly.
for the
So
prediction that was the stats for that thing.
exactly. So it's simply referring to that कि if you are looking into that biomedical AI research paper, so उसके stats here.
Okay,
The
so
product itself is not like evaluating anything. It's just reflecting
No,
what you have written, right?
exactly.
Okay.
We don't want to make any changes in your story. Okay, so whatever you have, we just make it look better to recruiters and make it easy for them to understand your story and to know more about you. Because because how much you make things easy for a recruiter, again, that's what gonna help you as well.
yeah, exactly. So do anyone else have any question? Like you guys can unmute your mic and ask the questions from Nija. It's been share up there, right? It's been in the chat up there. And I guess it's a beta link, right, Nija?
Yes, exactly. Another interesting thing about it is once you share this profile with people, you can even have a detailed report on how people are interacting with your profile. I posted it a few days back, and after 24 hours, I got 41 questions. And one of the recruiter or anyone who was interacting with the profile, they asked about my research paper, one of them, and their follow-up question was about the data pipeline and annotation techniques. So I immediately got a hit that, maybe this is missing from my CV. So I went back and I added that because I realized that people are interested in this. So it's really helping you get a good feedback without asking people for it.
Yeah. So, do anyone else have any questions from Nija about her product, about the business model, or anything?
One last question. Actually, you were referring that if we have done some project or if any technical person has done some project, he would have like proof that it would be available on GitHub. Thing is, when you are working in a company and you have like worked on some project and you have changed around, the 2 jobs. So the access to the code has already been removed, and you would not be having the code itself as well. So how are you going to like give proof for the work you have done? So you were asking about GitHub repo or something like that, but in this case the employee would not have any access to GitHub repo.
I think that was a very good question, actually. But when I say about the GitHub repo, I think that's more important when a person is coming as a fresh graduate. Because, they don't have any proof. If you're coming from a certain company, then again, there are some other things that people usually ask. They ask for referrals, they ask for some letters. But some people who even came after the company, I always suggest them that make sure if you are doing something for a company, I even suggest my peers this, and I do this personally. If you are doing one thing for a company, you always learn something and you can apply the same technique to any other project of your own, right? That gives the proof of your skill. आपको वो same चीज नहीं लेकर आनी, because obviously companies have policies, but you can again apply the techniques that you have learned to do something else. That's just a suggestion.
Aram, you can you want to add something?
Can you elaborate, Nija? Like if someone is working on something, let's say some new technology or something that is a breakthrough, let's say. So how can that person implement that on her own, her or his own?
Could you please elaborate what do you mean by the breakthrough?
Okay, so the question that our mama asked, let's say when someone is working in a company and when the GitHub accesses got removed, so how he can showcase that work. So let's say, as you mentioned, that if you learn something in some organization, you can replicate that or do it at your own in some other way, or let's say in some freelancing or stuff. So if something that hasn't been done before and you did as a developer in a company, so don't you think that would be a breach of NDA and CA?
Oh, no. I think there is a misunderstanding. I'm not exactly asking you to replicate the thing. Let's say when I was working, I
No, not
learned.
just sorry to interrupt you. I'm definitely not talking about replicating the whole stuff, but it's the main thing that matters. Let's say, we are working, some companies working on a object detection model, like using the existing ones, but they are fine tuning it. And while fine tuning it, the scope is that there is a restaurant where all the people are being tracked by camera, by real time footage, and any employee that has any mobile app, let's say there are triggers. If some employee is using mobile for 1 or 2 hours, so that trigger will be sent to the restaurant. Now the company has worked, let's say 2 to 3 months using servers, using GPUs, and now they have reached that much accuracy, which is giving a good. How this would be not replicated, but applied by developer to some other side.
Okay, let's say, as you just mentioned that you have worked on some models and you have fine-tuned them, right? So if I have experience working on a model on one product, what I would do as an engineer, I would use to fine-tune that model on some other data to see how the result different. Or I'll use the
Just a catch here. The team has worked to improve the model. The team has worked and spent 2 to 3 months, not just one person.
Okay, I think no, that's one I won't recommend you that if the team has done on something and you replicate the results on other thing, because again, that's something against the NDA. But the skills that you have learned as an individual, you can always apply that to any other project of your own.
Okay, makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, that's good. Anyone else have any question, or anyone else wants to add something in our conversation? You guys can unmute your mic and add on. We will have to know if you want to add something or if you have any suggestion. Joe, are you with us? Like, you want to add something? What could be more we can expect from this?
I've been listening, but I don't have any specific questions. I think the questions that I'm hearing being asked are good questions. This is a good conversation.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Uzaifa, for the Docker, it was the separate session before this session, and you can ask the question about that session in the WhatsApp community. And Bilal or some other expert from the community will answer you back on those on your queries. So just to add maybe one last question, and then we can conclude, and if needed we can connect afterwards. So you talk about the business model in which your current business model is mainly focused on trainings, and you guys are focusing on generating revenue from the universities. That universities will pay you for the placement of the students. That I got the business model that you explained. So I have multiple counter on that. Basically, you can say suggestions, or I want to understand. The first thing, how that model will scale, because I think that model have certain breakpoints, like when you start scaling, maybe 4 to 5 universities, 6 universities, that could be a one breakpoint. Then the second question will be, there are parallel programs in which there are people who are trying to generally increase the communication skills, soft skills, technical skills of the students who are getting out of the university, so they can automatically place by themselves in a good places. And so, like in your case, you are just focusing on polishing their existing skills to make them placed. In the other cases that I am talking about, they are polishing all the skills, their communication skills, their technical skills, so they can be placed in the good offices, in the good companies. Along with, they can also launch their own products. That on this model, kind of, we are also working on and partnering with one of the university we are currently partnered, and some more universities we are onboarding on that, in which we are trying to polish the FIPs that much so they can become an actual product. And the third and the last question, like at this model, there could be some revenue generated inside the Pakistan, but how that model can go global, or how you can scale it beyond the Pakistan, or beyond the borders of, for example, the physical area, for example, beyond the borders of Punjab, let's say. So if you have to scale beyond Punjab, you have to have some physical team or physical office in another province or in another country to scale that model. And when I'm thinking about that model, I think like it's kind of a separate model than the product that you are building. Your product is really good. It have a lot of potential. I believe in that. And yeah, just to add one more thing, we have in our, I guess 2 sessions ago, we have one more guy who is from Karachi. He have somewhat similar product, Skillo, and like I can after the meeting I can talk. We can maybe I can connect you two guys together, so you can find some good mutual point in which you can find some opportunity of mutual growth if possible by two of yourself. So yeah, I guess there are 3 questions that primarily I asked.
Okay, so your first question was, when it comes to universities, there are certain breakthroughs, right? What exactly do you mean by breakthrough, if you could please elaborate?
I mean, there are certain breakpoints, which means like when you are providing the trainings, so you need a physical team there. You need someone there who is training, or you need, even if it's online, there is a certain breakpoint on which, like, if you go, for example, there are 10 universities you onboarded, and then your team will be increasing as the universities are increasing. That's also very common in the services market. That's why, like, in some cases, it is not for the new companies, it is not a right model in which, like, by the increase in your revenue, you also have to increase more in your team. So that was like one of the breakpoint that I am looking at.
Okay, so the kind of breakpoint that you are highlighting right now, that usually comes when a person tries to run the business solely. They just want everything to depend on themselves. I want to do every training. For business to scale, it's important that you develop systems that can run without you. And from an early startup, you cannot accept to have systems. But in a longer run, if you expect to grow and scale beyond region, beyond countries, then you have to design systems. And in our longer run, we have planned to design systems in such a way that would definitely survive these breakthroughs in scaling.
Okay. Yeah, I completely agree with your point. Yeah, we can come on the second
Second question was, there are already so many people who are providing these kind of trainings, and they are even providing technical as well as communication simultaneously, right? If that's what you were asking. Okay. So I was recently scrolling LinkedIn, and I realized that Pakistan, the government, HEC, they did some IT training and they graduated 6,000 students. I hope you heard that too. My question here is, all the trainings and different kind of institutes that are providing trainings, they measure their success on the base of graduates. For me, success metric is different. I believe on the placement metric. if you are placing someone somewhere, that's what calls success. I can graduate 1,000 people in a month or a week. No big deal. Coursera is doing that. So many other platforms are doing that. But our focus is on placements. And I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does.
If you have any question, please go ahead.
Like that, there's a next question after that.
Mhm.
So my counter on this will be, you are helping the students in placement. For example, we are also trying to build something in which we are trying to help students in launching their own product along with the placement. Like if they are someone is building their own product, so it will be easier for them to even if they get failed, they can also apply by themselves and be there. So why not you are helping the students who are graduating to launch their own products?
Okay, so as I mentioned, we are currently in talks with one of the university. We have this model. There are certain students who want to start their own startup, but they don't have a platform or they don't know how to initiate that. So depending on the needs of the universities, we are providing different services. And this startup thing is also on the list, because obviously if there are students who want to start startup and we are committing that we'll be placing you, so startup success is also there. And why are we a good choice when it comes to startups?
Yes, you can continue.
When we applied in NSTP, there were more than 700 applications and only 35 got shortlisted. So if someone has made out of that bulk, they definitely can help others, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's 100% on that.
Yeah.
And the third and the last question is basically that training
Mhm.
side and the product, the sync product that you are building, how they are converging on one point. Because like when we are discussing the business model, it's all
Mhm.
around trainings, like placement of the students, and it's not about the sync. So how, like I see sync as a very good product in itself, which may not have a breakpoint, the physical breakpoints that we are discussing, which is not directly depend. Definitely, there's need of some team. There could be a need of some investments, but it can be scaled global more easily as compared to the other model that we are discussing. Like when I am looking at discussing these two things, it's more of a like looking on two separate things. Like sync is separate and the trainings and this thing is separate. So
Okay.
yeah.
As I previously mentioned that when we are talking about recruitment, it's a two-way industry.
Okay.
So bringing sync in was completely to converge the two ends. We are getting students, we have recruiters looking for the students. We have to converge them at some place. And that's where we want sync to have. Let's say we have 100 students in the talent pool, we have all the profiles in the sync, and we have recruiters connected. If recruiters want to, see the talent pool that we have right now, they can simply scroll through that and they can have a chat with the candidates' profiles and they can see, okay, this candidate is the right fit, it is not, it is. So to converge the both ends, we are trying to bring them on the sync platform.
Okay. Okay, I think that's it for today's session. It's been really nice, and like all the information, all the things that you told us, like they're really amazing, and best of luck to you. We have all the great wishes for you and for your product.
Thank you so much. I really
Ahead.
appreciate your
So,
questions. They were quite interesting.
yeah. I have many more, but yeah, we have limited time and
You can
wife to
always
look
drop
at.
them in my
Sure,
WhatsApp.
sure. Yeah. So, anyone else wants to add anything at the end? So feel free to jump in, else we will conclude our today's session. I don't think so. Anyone else? Yeah. So, okay, thank you so much, everyone, for the session. Stay tuned. We will have probably our next session on next Saturday at 10 p.m. Doing the same thing again.